Welcome to another episode of 406 Tech Talks. We're going to talk about a lot of new things, such as
what it's like to be new in our district, or to be old in our district and not know what to do as if you were new. You're the newest of us. You came midway through the year.
I think asking a lot of questions, having great people to rely on who can point you in the right direction, knowing where to go and who to ask, or
because it's so big. It is hard to know who to ask, or what building are they at, or what department do I check with.
It's easy to lose yourself in the shuffle,
Mm-hmm.
you know, as you want to get going with your job or whatever role you're in, but all those little details are super important as well.
I don't know if even a lot of our staff or students know this, but we have over 16,000 students in our district and 3,500 plus staff members. So that's a huge pool of people if you're coming in new and fresh to get to know. So navigating your way through that can be probably pretty overwhelming.
So it's bigger than most of the cities in Montana when you think about it.
That's
we
true.
have more.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your biggest question coming in?
Oh, I think I had so many and didn't know what to ask, so it was nice to have people pointing things out. But, you know, just how, you know, what paperwork needed to be filled out, benefits, insurance, that type of stuff was important. Just the leaves, like we've talked about, putting leaves in. Just all of those little procedures that you kind of take for granted if you knew how to do them somewhere else or you didn't know how to do them at all, those types of things.
So if you didn't have amazing partners to ask, who would you guys go to if you had a question about procedures?
Well, being techie, I would kind of browse around a website perhaps, but I also know we have some great personnel here in a department that can help with those new staff things.
If you are new to the district, chances are you're going to want to know this person.
I am Jeana Lervick. I'm the Executive Director of HR. Right now we are in the process of revamping the HR department. We've been going through an HR review for the past almost a year and a half. And so it's exciting. We're looking at everything from orientation, which we will be revising, to hiring process, to benefits. We're really getting a chance to look at everything. Right now, depending on the type of new employee that you are, we have different orientations that sort of go over the nuts and bolts. Forms, things like that, what you need to fill out. We will still be doing that to some extent, but we really want to make it more of a forum where people can meet each other. We're going to take a lot of the basics, the form filling, things like that, and put them in a central location electronically. So it will be much easier if you're like me and you really weren't paying attention during the insurance form filling out section. You can go online and look and see, okay, this is what I need to do, this is how I go about it. If you still have questions, these are the people you talk to. And so we're going to be focusing a lot more on these are going to be your colleagues. This is what it means to be in the district.
So new or old, what are the top 3 things that Jeana would like you to know?
Don't be afraid to call us with questions is number 1. I know a lot of times people will get frustrated at everything from the starting out paperwork to down the road things like credit approvals and whatnot. And the staff, I'm more than a little biased, but the staff's phenomenal, and really we're excited to get those questions and know that people are coming across these things. Flex enrollment, very important. I know this is odd and very specific, but paying attention to the things that the district does offer and the benefits and how much they can affect you down the road are very important as well. Really taking advantage of the opportunities to get to meet people from other schools, to get to meet people in other positions. We have terrific custodians, we have terrific secretaries, we have terrific teachers. I mean, obviously everyone is great or they wouldn't be here, but they don't get a chance sometimes to meet other groups of people, and taking advantage of that I think would be key. If you have the opportunity to know that, okay, this person is at this other school, which you probably wouldn't get particularly a chance to know, you can not only ask questions about the basics, but you get a chance to see what each individual school is like. And I think Superintendent Bauk has been very, very good at focusing on the fact that we are a district as a whole. I think this is such an exciting time for the district. We have so much momentum, we have so much going for us, we have such a bright future. Programs like Project Lead the Way and strategic planning and redistricting. I mean, we have this whole blank canvas, and I really hope that everyone gets involved and gets on board, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and we have such an opportunity to really make this district incredible, more than it is.
So what if you are sick? What do you do if you are sick? What's the procedure?
Well, there's a couple of things. If you have a classroom, don't you have to do Smart Find and Sub Finder?
Yep, Smart Find Express would be how you request a sub, because I think the subs actually have access to that system as well. That's how they get called out. But even with us, where we don't have a classroom and don't necessarily need a sub, that Smart Find Express system is what generates your job number. And that's what you'll need when you go to put the leave request in. So there's always 2 steps anytime you're gone, whether you're sick or whether you're going to attend a professional development that's a day-long release. Anytime you do that, you need to fill out Smart Find Express and leave requests both.
Whether you need TLC, to be by the sea, or headed off for a PLC, one of these days you're going to have to be gone. Let's just see how to fill out a leave request, shall we? First, you're going to need to access Smart Find Express. The easiest way to do this is to go to the Billings Public Schools website, click on Staff, or click on Check Email and More. It'll take you to the same place. From here, you'll scroll down until you see Smart Find Express. Once you get to the site, log in. Your Access ID is your 4-digit employee ID number. Your PIN number should have been assigned to you when you were hired. If you can't remember your PIN number, just click Trouble Signing In and you will be directed to fill out a CAPTCHA code with your user ID. If you can't remember your user ID or your PIN number, you can contact Lynette in HR. Once you have successfully logged in, it's time to create your absence. Clicking on the Create an Absence tab at the top of the page will allow you to do this. The first thing you'll want to do is verify your location and your position, and then choose the reason for your absence. In this case, sick. It'll ask you to choose the dates that your absence will begin and end. Verify your hours under the weekly schedule section at the bottom so that if a substitute is required, they'll know when to show up. If you have lesson plans you would like to attach, just click Browse, select the file where your notes, lesson plans, or other information for the sub are stored. Clicking Continue at the bottom of the page will take you to the next page where you will verify all of your information. Double check to make sure everything is correct before officially creating the absence. Now that your absence has been created, you want to make note of the job number at the top of the page. You can do this by either writing it down or copying it. I'm going to use Control-Click and copy. You can also select the number, go up to the Edit menu at the top, and click Copy. You'll also notice you can do the keyboard shortcut Command-C on a Mac. Once that number is written down or copied, you're ready to go in and create your leave request. Since my tab for Billings Public Schools was still open, I'm simply going to click on it and then go down to Leave Requests. Here you will sign in using your district user ID and password. This is the same user ID and password that you use to access all of your district accounts. You're going to enter in the number of days you will be absent from your job. Here I'm going to paste in that job number using either the keyboard shortcut Command-V or the Edit Paste method. And then I'll complete the rest of the form. A calendar will automatically pop up with the date with the first days absent, but you have to manually type in the time. Because I said my hours were 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., I'm going to put the same information on this sheet here. There is an optional box for notes. This would be more for your supervisor to see, not a sub. Bottom of the page, be sure to indicate whether or not your leave is going to require a sub. If the answer is yes, be sure you select yes. Finally, indicate what type of leave you're taking, in this case sick. When you're finished with the entire form, click Submit, and now it will go to your supervisor for approval. Now there may come a time when you need to cancel a job because you aren't actually going to be sick or your plans changed. In this case, you would repeat the process. You will log back into Smart Find Express, review your absences, and since I know the date, I'm going to search by that day. I click on the job number, and when it comes up, all the way at the bottom, I'm going to cancel the job. If you are a teacher and require a sub, be sure to leave the box that will notify your sub that your job is being canceled checked so they know not to show up. Take just a minute to verify that your job actually has been canceled. You're looking for all of the text that's in red. Now I'm going to sign out of SmartFind Express and go back into the leave requests. Under My Leaves, I can see at the very top of the page my most recent leave request. And so to cancel it, I simply click on Cancel. It will ask me to verify if I actually want to cancel the job, and I say yes. Be sure to log out, go, be off, go visit the dock, enjoy the view from the dock, or listen and learn about the Space Shuttle dock. Just be gone. For more information and ideas on how to get the most out of your classroom technology, visit us at BPS-TIS.org. You'll find lots more resources, similar to this one, produced by your Billings Public Schools Technology Integration Specialists.
What about if you need to take a class? MEA trade, if you didn't go to Missoula for MEA, that's something that's a process within itself. If you need to do that, there's online forms for that. As Jeana mentioned in the video there, that a lot of that process will be digitized for us, because right now it's kind of hard to know.
Right. The new credit approval form is online now, which has made things much nicer, but I remember last year you weren't a new teacher.
Yeah.
And didn't know about the credit approval process. So whenever you're taking professional development, I suggest to fill that out in case it is useful.
Because why would it be maybe useful, Shelley?
Because every time you have 15 units, you move across the pay scale. So when you're at year 15, all those years of professional development really count towards your salary increase.
Yep. So Shelley taught me last year, after being in the district for 15 years, that every class you take that's available for MEA trade or OPI renewal, as long as it's outside of your work hours that was conducted, is eligible for step up. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I could have been all the way across that pay scale in this amount of time, but now, thanks to you, I know. So fill those credit approvals out anytime you even doubt. Fill one out.
And they'll let you know if it's something that doesn't count. They're really good about saying, hey, I'm not sure if this counts.
And also, as Jeana mentioned, ask. Don't be afraid to ask. So one of the questions we get a lot is when we do offer professional development here, it sounds kind of silly, but where do you park when you come to the Lincoln Center? So I found out just this week that they can actually park in the parking garage across the street next to Ganan's, and your parking meter tab thing will be validated. So you just need to stop in with Cindy Pierce and she'll swap you out for a ticket, and that'll get you out of the garage. There aren't many spaces here in the Lincoln Center parking lot, so take advantage of that.
Yep, if you have a blue parking permit for the Lincoln parking lot, it has now been changed to a purple one. So the blue ones won't work. Just stop by the front desk and get a new one.
And how about our new name tags?
Yeah, they're nifty.
I know. Charles actually has both.
I'm doing collection. I'm just collecting them all.
So you want to explain the difference between the two?
Yeah, so we have a new entry system here at the Lincoln Center. Some other buildings have it as well. And this card actually is what lets you kind of swipe in. You don't actually swipe it, but it has a sensor that tells that this is the right card and you are allowed to enter the building. So this card, even though it looks a lot like the others, has some special technology that's sensed by that door panel and gets you into the building. If you're not a regular Lincoln Center employee, you can buzz in and they will let you in. There's a camera that you should look into so they can see who you are and state why you're needing to enter the building. So just be aware of that and be patient with people as that process gets going.
Mm-hmm. And I would say too, as for district employees, no matter where you are traveling throughout the district, be sure you wear that badge, because that's what lets us know as employees, but also our students know that we're a safe person when we've got the badge on. As for visitors to the district, if you happen to be watching this and you're maybe a parent or somebody who needs to visit a school, be sure that you do buzz that, the doorbell outside the building. Be recognized by probably the secretary who will let you in, and then sign in and get a visitor's badge. So no person should ever be walking around in a building without some kind of a badge for the safety of our staff and students.
And we need to, encourage ourselves and staff to stop someone and ask if they don't have a badge, if you can help them find where they're going. Just, that little moment to, they may have forgotten to grab a pass, or just not in a nosy way or a confrontational way, but just, can I help you find where you're going? Can I help you? Who are you? That type of thing. But it's for our ultimate safety.
Mm-hmm. As far as another thing that's new with the new levy last year, there's a lot of new technology kind of coursing into the buildings. And one question I know we've been asked a lot is, how do you get that? How do you get that new technology? So what would you guys say to a teacher who said, I want something new, how do I get that?
A great place to start in the spring is with your technology committees in your building. If you have a need, I would definitely talk to people on the committee and just say, hey, I need this or that, and also explain why. Mm-hmm. Like, what's going to be the purpose of that new piece of equipment? And then, because the levy will have forever, thanks to our taxpayers, they can start prioritizing lists. Mm-hmm. So that would be my suggestion to a new teacher.
Yeah.
And I think, asking someone who might have that technology or getting a chance to maybe watch them use it or, go play around with it if they have some time. Not just to, kind of have that wish list that you've never dealt with or seen in use, just because it's the newest thing doesn't mean you necessarily could use it or you have to have it. So it's good to see and talk to people who maybe use it very, very actively, how they use it and if that would fit your need.
Yeah. The interactive projectors are a great example of that. Yeah. You might think you want an interactive projector when actually what you really want is just a mounted projector. So seeing those things in action, that's a good point. And that kind of goes for all new people and old people too. Get out there and see what's happening in other classrooms instead of just your own. Most principals are very supportive of that and getting to watch what's happening and maybe there is something that you don't even realize that you need that you could get technology-wise. I've always wondered though, what happens to the old stuff?
It's a great question. We'd like to think that technology, lasts and has a good life to it and we could use it forever, but that's not the nature of technology. It's changing all the time. We have new things that come in and things that either stop working or are no longer usable, and so they have to go somewhere. And I was lucky. I got to work with a couple of classes recently on a project dealing with e-waste, so electronic waste, those things when we're done using them or they break and can't be repaired or serviced, where do they go? I worked with 6th grade classes at Burlington Elementary School on an e-waste project, and we had a chance to go to Yellowstone E-Waste Solutions, and that's what they deal in. It was amazing seeing stacks and stacks of flat panel TVs and computer towers and things, and there's a lot of things that can be recovered from those. All those metals that are in shorter supply, we can reclaim from some of those. Got to watch hard drives being destroyed so that the data was secure when those things come in. But a really great experience, and the kids had a lot of fun, learned a lot. They're becoming these young proponents of responsible use of technology. Where does it go? They even brought some things. Some of the kids brought some things from home to leave behind so that it could be disposed of properly. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Last week you proposed a contest where people could write in and say who's a teacher that you've seen doing really neat things, or maybe somebody who's non-tenured that's already in the practice of doing good teaching. And in that spreadsheet that came through, I think 22 people were nominated.
Wow,
yep.
Cool.
And so I just used the random picker, which is an add-on in Google Sheets, which is also new. And if you're a new employee, you have a Google account that has really cool features. We'll talk about that later. But Brittany Mion was the name that came up.
Cool.
And yeah, that was especially cool because she's right down the hall. So let's meet her.
Brittany Mion. I teach 5th grade at McKinley School in the Lincoln Center, 3rd floor. I've taught for 3 years, so this is my 4th year. I've taught kindergarten, 3rd grade, and Now I've graduated to 5th grade. It's a huge difference as far as having resources. There's tons of resources that I have here that I just don't even know that I have yet. I think that's probably one of the hardest things is things like getting the training. I've been getting training and it's been great, but there's so many things that once I get it, I wish I would have had that at the beginning of the year. It's been a lot of late nights and a lot of reteaching myself 5th grade math so I can teach it to them, but it's been good. It's been a great challenge. Yes, for me, my big thing was where am I going to be? How do the kids line up? What resources do I have? What do procedures look like? I had a long list, and I think I asked a million questions that day. So I just kept going, and I have great teaching partners too. So anytime I have a not a good question, we don't say stupid questions, but what's really hard is when we get together as a big staff, then I don't know the people at the other building as well. And I mean, we're trying really hard to keep us together, but I can tell for me it's going to be another new year next year. But I'm okay with that. I mean, the staff that I've got to work with up here, I've gotten very close with them quickly, so. Report cards, I had no idea. I was supposed to go on and do a couple other steps. And luckily, one of the other teachers just happened to last minute say, oh, did you do that? And I don't know why. I was just assuming they were going to show up on my desk. I don't know. I think when it happens, all of a sudden I will get on my computer and email someone or go talk to one of the other teachers or the principal, find out. So I don't know any of my questions yet. They haven't been asked yet. I know I've gotten emails like from certain people with different things, and I haven't really poked around a whole lot about it, and I think it's because I just have all these things on the front burner, and that's important to me, but it's, everything gets thrown up there in that first spot. Oh, that needs to be done, that needs to be done. So I'm sure I could find it, but I don't maybe know 100% where to always find it on my own, unless an email's sitting in front of me. And occasionally there's little things that I think people assume I know, and maybe I don't quite know the procedure, but everyone's been very patient about it. So if I ask, it's a great thing about working with teachers, they're all willing to teach, so I have great people to ask.
So you're kind of a new teacher yourself, a new old, this year, right?
Yeah, I'm back in the classroom this year. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
How do you like being in a new school?
Oh, I actually love senior. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that after
I think you are.
10 years at West, but the students have been so kind, and the staff, and well, you guys have met my students also. They are just a great group of kids, and it's been really important for me to be back with students a little bit.
Yep. It's kind of neat to see once you've been doing one thing all the time to go and be the new person in a new setting and new environment and see what they're doing there. But your kids are pretty smart, and they're working on some really cool things.
They are. They're what we call geniuses. They're doing genius hours. So it's been really powerful, and truly they're creating things that
it's amazing.
I don't even know how they're doing it. So
it's a lot of fun.
Kids.
Yeah.
So we have the ones you're mentoring are actually creating a world in a computer program, correct?
Yeah, for like simulations and video games, there's the environment. They're learning how to plant virtual trees and move virtual mountains. So it's been a lot of fun to watch that. All that goes into that. It's not as easy as it looks or sounds, for sure. So no matter how long you've been in the district, we'd like to see who you are, kind of to learn all those numerous faces, as you said, so many employees in the district. And so we have an ongoing contest for the Face of Education, where we randomly pick a school, and then from that staff we randomly pick a staff member, and if they have their picture as their profile picture for their email and their Google account, they will receive a prize. All of those winners will be then put into a bigger drawing to the end.
Want to know how you can become the face of education? Change your Google profile picture and be eligible for a prize. This tutorial will walk you through the simple steps of changing your picture. We love seeing pictures of your puppies, your kids, and definitely this guy, but it's helpful for students, staff, and parents to be able to see who they're emailing. First, sign into any tool within your Google account. This could be your Gmail, your calendar, or your Drive. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see either a picture or a silhouette icon where your picture should be. Clicking on it will allow you to access and change the elements of your Google profile. From here, click on Change Picture and you'll see the familiar window in Google that will allow you to upload a file. I'm going to navigate to my Pictures folder because I know that somewhere in this mess I have a photo. Once the picture pops up, I'll be prompted to either crop or stretch into a square-shaped image. Once you have worked out the size, click Set as Profile Photo and it will save. Now, whether you're in your email, your calendar, your Drive, or even Google+, your profile picture will show. Now everyone who tries to email you, share a file with you, or share an event on Calendar will know that they have the right person. For all of those who share, thank you for taking the time to become the face of education.
This time around from Boulder Elementary School, it's Adrian Adarando Becker.
Yay, Adrian!
I think I rolled that out okay. She can catch me later. So congratulations. Thanks for having your picture as your profile picture. It's great to see that. Great for students when they're sharing things with us. Great for us when we're emailing staff to get that visual recognition that you grabbed the right names.
And speaking of winners of contests too, I mentioned that Brittany Mion, one of our new teachers down the hall here at McKinley, I wanted to share with everybody what the nominee said. Brandon Cox actually nominated her.
He did, and he's an awesome teacher.
He is an awesome teacher. So when it's awesome coming from awesome, even better.
Yeah.
His words were, she's not afraid to accept help from other teachers, which is huge. Sometimes it's really hard to do that. Including the MBI team here at McKinley. She's genuinely concerned about the welfare of all of her students. She's been a positive influence on the staff, even through the transitional construction year at McKinley, and her positive attitude is contagious.
Aww.
Yay! We do work
great.
with some really cool people all over the district.
Yeah.
So
Way to go, Brandon, too.
No.
Yeah.
we'll give them both a prize.
Okay.
Right?
I was working with Pam Walls this week, and she showed me the newest, coolest technology ring thing that I had never heard of.
What's it even called?
I don't know.
The
So
ring
I
thing.
think that our next contest should be to share with us a new piece of technology that you think we haven't heard of yet.
Ooh.
And how it would be helpful in the learning environment. How
Awesome.
about that?
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they can just email it to us. or
Yeah, because
we'll have a
Pam, if you're watching, just share us that thing again because it was pretty awesome.
Okay.
It's a ring.
A ring.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's new that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
Me too.
So for our next show, we'll talk about what's hot. Christmas is coming, holiday shopping season. Maybe you have a technology wish list, and you might want to find out some cool products that you didn't even know existed yet. So we'll talk about those.
And we'll be sharing our wish lists. Is that?
Of course,
You'll
because
see
they
them posted.
might
Just
want to buy some
might
stuff.
wanna-
See you later.
Bye.